Headline is reporting that movie titles under the DC Vertigo imprint, including Joseph Gordon Levitt Sandman, will be moved from Warner Brothers to their smaller genre-focused label New Line Cinema. However, the Hollywood Reporter is claiming that the Justice League Dark film, which features several characters that have appeared in Vertigo comic books, will stay with Warner Brothers, and that Guillermo Del Toro, who has long been thought to be directing the project, is no longer attached. Dennis, what is your take on the Vertigo move and Guillermo Del Toro's exit from the Justice League Dark movie?
Well, with Vertigo moving to New Line Cinema, I guess they want to differentiate themselves from the DC universe and Warner Bros. I'm assuming something like a Sandman is not going to be part of the DCU. I think it's okay move, though. With New Line Cinema, I know they did the Lord of the Rings and they did The Hobbit, but I always associate them with kind of like those schlocky horror B movies that come out every year that are like, it costs them $5 or $10 million that they're trying to like hopefully hit for like 40 or 50 million, make a profit. So as far as Guillermo del Toro leaving Justice League Dark, it's actually not surprising. He has a million things on his plate. He's been talking about this for so long, and there's never been any actual movement on it. So him leaving, I'm surprised though that they're going to keep doing it and they're actually making it part of the DC universe. It's not going to New Line Cinema. It's going with the DC universe. So I'm not so sure how that's going to work, because I find it even riskier than something like Guardians, because these characters are, kind of like a hodgepodge of a bunch of different characters, a team together. I know. Schnepp, what do you think?
Well, I like the idea of them separating Sandman from the rest of the DC universe. Just because it's such a standalone title anyway, the way Neil Gaiman wrote it. So that makes sense. Preacher, I know they're doing a series now, but if it ever went to a film, if they brought Constantine back, or if they brought some of these, more crazy, multi-dimensional, demon-infested kind of characters or whatever. But with Justice League Dark, I really don't know which characters now they're going to use. I mean, it would make sense for them to use. Plus, Justice League Dark, I don't know. I've never really liked that title.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I heard somewhere that they were maybe calling it Dark Universe, which is also kind of a weird title. So until they figure out something, just they have Dr. Fate, Swamp Thing, a whole bunch of these other kinds of Zatanna, all these different characters that could fit into that kind of DC hero world. But I think it's a smart move to move Sandman to New Line and just let it be what it has to be. So.
Christian?
Yeah, I agree. I think that it makes sense to move it over to New Line because it becomes less confusing and it's absolute. You say, well, anything over there, it's not part of the DCU.
Mm-hmm.
So then as a fan, you go, okay, that makes sense. I can just watch it as a standalone. And I remember asking you on Movie Talk a while ago, do you think Sandman would be part of the DCU? And you said, no, I don't think it will. And this is kind of confirming that for sure. As far as the Justice League Dark, yeah, that's interesting that they would make it part of the DCU because I'm curious how they're going to do that. But I'm with you as far as the New Line thing goes to make me nervous. Also, not just because of the horror stuff, because they've put out a lot of bad comedies and stuff lately too. They haven't had the best track record lately. So Sandman going over there as far as a quality standpoint makes me a little nervous, but we'll see what happens and how it's developed because the source material is so good anyway. But as far as Del Toro leaving, I think that we might, although I don't know, it's me just guessing, we might have an Edgar Wright situation too, because if they are going to put it part of the DCU and he can't have his complete stamp on it and he's got to go a separate way, then maybe he's going, no, it's okay, guys. I'm going to go, like you said, Dennis, go figure out the stuff I'm working on right now, do that, and maybe not be part of so held down to what this DCU has to look like.
I don't think they're going to change the name, though, for Justice League Dark, just because they know this is going to come after the big Justice League movies, and they're going to try and use that name as much as possible.
I don't think, I'm just saying I don't like the name.
Okay.
Because that's why they're keeping it in Warner Brothers, because it's called Justice League something. If it was called Justice League Mellow Yellow, it'd still be
yes.
Justice
I'd
League
see
Rainbow
that,
Squad still be stuck over, and they wouldn't move it. So
I want to be part of Justice League Mellow Yellow.